Welcome into the stage tonight. You're going to love him. Please put your hands together for Bill Mount.
1 minute. I had my 62nd birthday last week. That is a really cheap way to get some applause. It's almost as bad as, anybody here from Waban? So yeah, I had my 62nd birthday last week, and there's an upside and downside to being 62 years old. The downside is I realize now that I have become completely invisible and irrelevant to anybody under 35. You'll be in the grocery store and they'll... Oh, excuse me, sir. I love the sir. No problem, fetus. Now the upside, thank you. The upside to being 62 is that I don't have to give a rat's ass about anything anymore. There is almost no consequence to anything I can say or do that matters to me whatsoever. And that's great. For example, if I want to say, when Donald Trump takes office, I hope the first thing he does is plow up Mrs. Obama's vegetable garden and turn that space into the White House slots parlor. Well, what's going to happen if I say that? Is some attractive, young, pretty female Democrat vegetarian going to say, oh, I'm not having sex with that guy? I was going to rock that guy's world, but not after what he said about Michelle's kale. That's off the table. See, when you're 25, 26, you're young, you're single, and you're a guy, every act you commit, everything you say, you have to filter it through the idea of, will this increase or decrease my chances of having sex? But when you're 62 and you've been married to the same person for 30 years, it just doesn't matter. For the record, I am not a Trump supporter, but again, being 62 and not giving a rat's ass, I can do my trolling live and in person, and I don't have to hide out on Facebook. I went to a wedding a few weeks ago, and it was great. I love seeing nice young people make a commitment, walk down the aisle, walk into life together. After the wedding, though, is even more entertaining, and of course what I'm talking about there is the reception. And several dozen intoxicated Caucasian people lurching around a dance floor, mouthing along to Uptown Funk. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. I'm watching. I'm watching in horror. But, you know, there were a couple of black couples there, and of course they looked like Twyla Tharp and Alvin Ailey on a double date with, you know, Tina Turner and Michael Jackson. The rest of us look like we're auditioning for background in The Walking Dead and probably not getting hired. But we all had a good time. Everybody had a good time. The couple left. Everybody was happy. Bless their hearts. Bless their hearts is something we say down south because we're too nice to say, what a bunch of jackasses. I am from down south. I grew up in Alabama. And in this part of the country, when you tell people that you grew up in Alabama, there's always a pause in the conversation, like they expect you to justify yourself. So here's the deal. I've never owned a gun. I've never owned a pickup truck, and I have never owned a person. If I were going to get any of those things, I would get a person, because it's way more useful, at least to me, than a gun or a pickup truck, if it weren't morally reprehensible and completely indefensible. I was talking to a buddy of mine in Atlanta the other day, and he said, what are you going to do this weekend? And I said, oh, I'm going to go to a wedding. What are you going to do? And he said, oh, Bill, I'm going to go to a bluegrass concert, and then I'm going to watch golf all weekend on TV. Really? Could we throw in a trip to the proctologist and, you know, maybe watch some bananas turn brown for a day or two? That's my idea of a dream weekend in hell. But I hear you saying, hey, Bill, bluegrass concert, bluegrass music. Aren't you from Alabama? Don't you love bluegrass music? Well, yes, I do. For 7 minutes. 7 minutes is long enough to hear the first bluegrass song and half of the second bluegrass song and realize that's the same song. Oh, there are different versions of the song. That's how they get you. There are different versions of the same song. There's the fast version. The fiddle comes in. That's the fast version. Then there's the slow version. There's a happy version. And the unhappy version. It's in a minor key. I am also not a redneck. People in this part of the country love to throw around that term redneck like they know what it means. You don't. I am not a redneck. I am a cracker. The hierarchy of Southern Caucasians goes cracker, hick, then redneck, hillbilly, white trash, peckerhead. A peckerhead, if you can imagine what a peckerhead is, it's an inhabitant of the farthest northern part of New Hampshire with probably a few more teeth and no access to LL Bean. If you want proof that Southerners are smarter than Yankees, here it is. It's the bluegrass music. The thing is, we can get y'all to pay big money for an entire night to buy a ticket to an entire night of authentic bluegrass entertainment and play one song all night long. Bless your hearts. Thank you. I'm Bill Mount. Don't believe it, just watch.
I don't know if you're paying attention to the subtlety or not subtlety of our tech, but it's loud. That's great. That part of the song pisses me off, but it's the only part everybody knows. Don't believe me, just watch. I say that when I'm jacking off. You don't believe I jerk off in public? Just watch, officer. We have one comedian left. Before we bring up the next and last comedian, I want to thank you one more time for coming out. Give yourselves a round of applause for spending an hour and a half with us on a late Monday night to support your friends and family. A couple things. ImprovBoston does teach classes in stand-up, improv, and sketch comedy. If you're looking at your friends and family and thinking, you know what, I could probably do that, you can. Our next session of classes starts in June. There are still some spots available. You don't think you could? What happened? She could? You don't think you could? No. Why not? I think she could. Don't you think she could? She could do it. Yeah. Why do you think she's funny? I just think she's looking at her. Oh, that's mean. All right. What? You're sitting between two people wearing tablecloths. You look like the napkins. Your white shirt is the napkins, tablecloths, but you're the funny one.